Hello everyone, welcome back guys. Hope you all are doing well. Today we are going to solve a machine from Hackthebox. The machine name is Bagel and the difficulty level of this machine is medium. So without wasting time, let's go and we start the machine by nmap scan. So first of all, nmap space -s capital C for default script, space -s capital V for version enumeration, and the target IP is 10.10.11201. And I want to save the scan results in default.nmap file. I already ran the scan to save the time, so I am directly going to show you the scan results. So these are the scan results. If I scroll it up, you can see few ports open. Port number 22 TCP, port state is open, service running on it is SSH, and version of this service is open SSH 8.8. Second port is port number 5000. We don't know what this port is all about, but UPnP fingerprint strings are there. Okay, so bad request, and as you can see, this is the most important information here. Server is Microsoft Netcore 2.0. So that seems like some kind of .NET maybe application running on it. We will see that in a minute. But the third port is port number 8000. The port state is open and it's running HTTP ERT Virtual server 2.2.2 Python 3.10.9. So this is most probably the application built on the Flask, and rest of the things are okay. And here you can see we find here the domain name bagel.htb and the application running on port 8000, and this is the complete URL. So I already created a record in my etc host file by the name bagel.htb, and so that I can access this web application by name with the port 8000. Most interesting information, if you see this URL, you will find here that there is a parameter named as page, and the page is going to be index.html. So in the application there are only two tabs, home and orders. If we go to the orders, so there are some kind of orders. Let's view the page source, and as you can see here, order number 1, order number 2 and 3 addresses are there, client name is there, and the details. Fine. Back. So I'm going to try LFI here. As we see the URL, so we can try it. It's very promising and convincing to try the local file inclusion. So //etc/passwd passwd, and as you can see the password file is downloaded. What I'm going to do, the burp proxy is already open, so I'm going to enable the burp proxy on my browser, and I'm going to try this. Hit enter, come back here to my burp proxy. There is order and there is index.html. I'm going to send this request to the repeater. Go to the repeater, send it again to see if we get the response. We are getting the response. Now here let's try it. etc/passwd and send this. So as you can see, we get the etc passwd content here. Interesting part here, these two users, developer and Phil. So developer ID UID is 1000 and Phil UID is 1001. So I'm going to Control C, copy these two users. Here we have port number 22, port number 5000 and port number 8000. Okay, and we get these two users with root. Obviously root will be there. Come on, Control C, come back here and paste that here. Okay, next thing, if we have local file inclusion and we also know the users, and we know that the home directory of these users by the name itself, so I'm going to try to get the SSH file ID RSA private key. Let's see, developer/.ssh /id underscore RSA and send this. So file not found. Let's try for fill user, send it, and unfortunately file not found. Okay, first of all, in this situation I want to see which user I am, whether I am www data or developer or fill. So for that, what I'm going to do here is let's try to read some default files like .bash underscore history. Let's see if we can write this file. So this is the default file, and if I can read this file, that means I am the fill user, right? Because no one else have permission to read this file, okay, except root user. Next, let's see developer, file not found. Maybe .bash history is not there. So let's try bash rc file. Okay, we have the content for bash rc file. Let's try to read this file for fill user, and file not found. So this is the custom message in the application. So maybe the actual message or actual error is permission denied, but here we will find always file not found. So fill user .bash rc file we cannot read. That means we are not fill user, we are developer user, because we can read this file in the home directory of developer. Okay, that's good. Fine. Now, because we know that this application is built on Flask, and we can try it by saying, let's say what web and http://bagel.htb:8000, and it will give you the same information what you see here, the server information and the Python version. So with that, with the server version and the Python is there, so we can say most probably it is built on Flask. So if this is built on Flask, so Flask main application file is going to be the app.py, like this. There must be if the folder name is not customized by the developer, so by default it is going to be app/app.py. This is the directory structure. But to read this file, we should know where this directory exists. Maybe it is inside the /var/www/html, something like this. And inside that, maybe there is app/app.py, or maybe because the username here is developer, so maybe this is the developer user. So maybe we will find this directory in the developer's home directory. So by guessing this, we can try to read this file. And another way we can be sure, like we can see the processes running on the target machine. So the processes, because we are developer user, and the processes we can read within the /proc/self and cmd line, like this. So let's go. We will try this one first. So copy this, come back here, and instead of that, let's paste this, hit enter. And yes, you can see with Python 3, the application folder is inside the developer's home directory, and there is app.py. App.py is running, means the application. So if we go by this, paste that, hit enter, file not found. Why? Home developer app.py. Go back to this home developer. Let's try here, app/app.py, and yeah, that's there. Why it was not showing there? Wait, it was showing here the result we have for the app.py contents. Home developer app.py. What was the difference? I don't know. Okay, so here we have the content for app.py, and if we see, there are two methods. This is for index. Okay, so it is going to see any file not exist or permission deny. It is going to give you the file not found error. And there is orders. This is the second endpoint, orders, and this is the method for orders. So there is a message: don't forget to run the order app first with .NET path to .dll command and use your SSH key to access the machine. Fine. That means we saw before there is a server running, where is it? Port number 5000. On port number 5000 there is a server running Microsoft Netcore 2.0, and here, as you can see, we found one message. In that, it's mentioning that .NET, we need to order anything, we need to first run the application with .NET part to DLL. So there is one DLL that is going to initialize with the application, and we need to find out this DLL so that we can find what inside this DLL. The second interesting part here is this 5000, what we found in the nmap. This 5000, on 5000 port there is WebSocket server running. Okay, and once you are going to this endpoint order, so this application is going to connect with this 5000 port with the WebSocket. Fine, and it is going to read order in the file orders.txt. So again, we need to find out this DLL file, and again we have one problem. The problem is we don't know exactly where this DLL file exists. So what we can do, we can try same thing. Where is it? Proc cmd, this one, command line. But instead of self, we are going to put here I, and this I value is going to be brute forced. So this I, instead of like the process, first process. So first process is always with the boot up process of the operating system. So if we try to check out the first process, it is going to show us this one. Okay, so this is the first process. Similarly, if we try to read process number 2, there is nothing. Let's try to read process number 20. There is nothing. 200. File not found, maybe 201, something like this. So my purpose is to just tell you that you can see the running process within this, right? So you need to brute force. You can brute force by using intruder. You can write your own script. You can use the bash. Fine. So let's go and we try to run with the bash script. So we can say for I in dollar in the sequence, and the sequence I'm going to say let's say from 1 to 1000. Okay, and do curl, and curl, let's say 10.10.11.201. this is the target IP, and it is going to connect with port 8000, and there is one parameter which is page is equal to // proc / and we need to specify the value of I with the dollar because it is the variable, and /cmd line, then space -o for the output, hyphen, and let's say I'm going to echo what, echo PID, and it is going to show us which ID, value of I, and then we need to say done. That's it. Hit enter. So you can see this is the result. This is the result of PID 1, and there is nothing in PID 2, 3, 4. Then file not found on PID 7, something like this. It is going to execute. So you can do like this also, and you can write your own Python script. You can do it with the Python script too. So I'm going to write a Python script. Let's say /user bin env python 3. Let's import few modules. Request import sys, not sys, let's say url lib 3, and here url lib 3 dot disable underscore warnings. Fine. And then here you need to write, let's say for I in range. It will take a lot of time if I make the range from 1 to see the processes, to brute force the processes from 1 to 1000. So I'm going to do it from 900 comma 1000. Okay, and then let's say URL is equal to this is going to be your URL. Control C, come here, Control V, just change this one. So URL is going to be dot slash proc, and after proc plus string value of I, because if we do not mention here string, it will take it as integer, right? And then slash cmd line. Okay, close this and close this. So this is going to be your URL, and then we just need to make a request dot get, and let's say URL, and then response is equal to r dot text. Response is equal to r dot text. Now if dot dll in response, it is going to print a response because we are looking for DLL file. Save this. Let's run it. Python 3 test dot py. Hit enter, and now we need to wait a moment because it is going to check from 900 to 1000. So whenever it gets DLL, it is going to print it. So I'm going to pause the video until it's finished and come back. Okay, we are getting the DLL path. So as we know that it is executing with the .NET, and this is going to be the path. So I'm going to Control Shift C, come back here, and this is the path for this file, and I'm going to download it. So come back here, copy this back to the browser. Instead of that, paste that, hit enter, and as you can see, it downloaded here. So I already transferred this DLL file to one of my Windows machine where I'm going to see this file within the DNSPy, decompile this file on the DNSPy, right? So let's go and we do that with our desktop 192.168.20.174, Let's say yes, and here we go. So I already put this DLL file here, and I already opened the DNSPy. I will share the link for this DNSPy within the description section. Let's open the file and go to the downloads, DNSPy, and this is the DLL file. Okay, so this is Bagel. Let's see. Okay, so if we open this, we can see there is bagel.dll. If we come here, there is Bagel server, Bagel_server. Inside it there is database and Bagel. So go to the server. There are types. So that first type is this Bagel, and the second is file, database, base, orders. All these are the types. So you need to keep in mind all this, because we are going to use this one within the Bagel_server. So this is Bagel_server. Okay, this is Bagel_server, and oh come on, and the types are going to Bagel, base, db, and file, handle, orders. Fine. So first of all, I want to visit to database db, and once I open the db, you can see here we found the credentials. Why it is not performing well, I don't know. Okay, I hope you can see this. The last line, this one, string text is equal to data source IP, initial catalog is going to be user order, user ID is going to be dev, and password is this. So let's see if I can here. So text, these are the credentials for database. ID is equal to dev, and this is the password. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this password, because if password reuse is the thing, we can get this. We can, so username is going to be dev and password is going to be this, right? So this could be a password for developer. Let's try to SSH with this, and let's see if we can do it or not. SSH developer at bagel.htb. It's asking for the it's saying permission denied, public key. Let's try for fill user, PHIL, again permission denied. So that means we need IDRSA private key. Okay, this is not the way. So let's see something else. So we can come here, and this is the database connection, the same thing. Okay, ordered is the endpoint where we see the order. So if we go back here to read this one, this order, you can see it is using the read order only, read order method. So read order method is this. Okay, and as you can see here, this one here, in these two, I can make it a big options, text viewer, font, let's increase the font size, make it 16. Yeah, that's good now. So you can see in these two lines, you can see it is replacing the slash with nothing and dot dot with nothing. So if you put LFI payload like dot dot slash, it is not going to work. Okay, so this is the first thing. Second thing, here So get read order and set read order, these two methods are there within the read order function. Second thing is remove order is also there, and write order is also there. So this is going to be abandoned because you can see there is get remove order and set remove order, but there is nothing within this. So we can try this, but how we try this, we need to first of all see the vulnerability, look out the vulnerability. I'm going to the file, and if we go to the file, you can see there is Bagel underscore server. Within that, if we scroll down, order not found, file line operations succeeded. Okay, there is one thing interesting. So private string directory is opt Bagel order here. This one. This is the default directory for it, inside opt Bagel, and the file name is order.txt. So you can see here it is reading the file order.txt. So this order.txt file is by default within the opt Bagel slash orders. Within this directory this file exists. Fine. What else? Let's see this file. Same thing. Okay, let's go to the Bagel, and so it is going to here start the server. So here you can see the object here, it's using JSON, deserialize and serialize, and this is the thing which we are looking for, the vulnerability, serialization, and the server port is 5000, server IP is anything, handlers. Okay, and there is the thing. So inside handler you can see it is going to serialize the object and return in JSON convert serialize object, then object formatting intent, and this one. So we need to call the object is going to be Bagel underscore server dot file dot order or something like this. Here it's using deserialization, and type name handling dot auto, message is unknown. So if we come here, let's say JSON deserialization type, what was that, time name handling, type name handling. So type name handling, I don't need the proxy now. Type name handling settings, right click, open in a new tab, come to the new tab. So we need to create a Python file because this is the Python. So I'm going to take it to actually communicate with this server. Copy this back here and close this one, we don't need that. Come here, paste this. So we don't need all of these spaces, and because this is the Python, so I'm going to shebang slash user bin env python 3. I'm going to import first of all, let's say sys import JSON because it's using JSON. Okay, and import WebSocket. This is the most important. Everything is most important because you can see here it's using WebSocket module, it's using JSON. Okay, and I put here sys because I'm going to use the sys module argument. I don't need that. Okay, and instead of this I'm going to say bagel.htb on port number 5000. Okay, read order, I'm not going to use read order, I'm going to use one of its abandoned function here, remove order. It's get or set, get and set is there but not used, this one. So come back here, instead of read order I'm going to say remove order. Okay, and inside remove order use it. Okay, here I'm going to use the type. We saw type before, right? And type is going to, what type is going to be the bagel underscore server dot file. We are going to call the file, and this is going to say bagel. We don't need this one, comma. The second part is going to be read file, and which file we are going to read? We are going to read, let's say if double quotes within this dot slash here, let's say sys.argv argument 1. So whatever file name we are going to give, it is going to put the file name here as the argument. So we are using the remove order function, and we are using the type file object bagel, and then file name is going to be this. Then this is going to be the same, because the data it is going to see as json.dump within the order, and then it is going to send this data, and the result is going to be the websocket.receive. It will receive the result, and then instead of return I want to print. Okay, and print what? Instead of read order I'm going to mention here, because I'm using remove order, and then the second one is going to be read file. This is the second function, read file, and it is also going to be within this double quote or single quote, no problem, you can make it within the double quote. Okay, so I'm going to save this, and let's save it as lfi.py. This is again the lfi. Okay, let's see, come here, you can see this is for the type name handling setting, and how it is going to be set. You can see here, this is type, and then inside type it is going to mention the types, and these are other parameters. Same like here, these are other parameters. So with same like this, I mentioned here remove order with type, and then another within the remove order I call another function which is read file. So that's it. Hope for the best. We need to execute this to connect with the Bagel target server with the port 5000 to talk to the WebSocket server. Come back here, Python 3 space lfi.py, and then we need to specify what file I want to read. So I want to read, let's say, passwd, this file. If everything good, we get the content. Yes, we get the content. And now in this way we can actually read the SSH private key ID RSA file. Again, same thing, we need to see which user we are. So for this, let's see, we can read home/developer/.bashrc. Let's try to read this file. Order not found. Okay, because this file cannot be read by any other user except developer user. So if we cannot read this, that means this time we are not the developer user. So let's try fill user. We can read fill user.bashrc file or not. Yes, we can read the bashrc file within the home directory of fill. That means we are now fill user. Most probably this is the thing. So if we can read this, we can go to ssh/id_RSA file to read its private key. And here we go. I'm going to copy this, Control-Shift-C, and now we don't need this. So I'm going to close it. Okay, so clear this nano, let's say id_RSA, and paste the content, Control O, enter, Control X, and set the permission for id_RSA, which is going to be 600 id_RSA. That's it. Now I'm going to open new tab, and here let's do SSH. So SSH space -i id_RSA, and the user is going to be Phil at bagel.htb. Hit enter, and we should get the SSH. Yeah, we get it. So who am I? ID. Okay, we are Phil user. Context unconfirmed. This is something weird, but we are Phil user. So ls space -la, user.text is here. We can read this. So cat user.text. So this is going to be our first flag. Now we can go for the privilege escalation. So sudo space -l, it's asking for the password for Phil, which we don't have, but we have one password here we found in the database connection string. Let's try this password, paste that, hit enter, and the password is wrong. So Control C, we don't need that. We will try something else. One thing, if you remember, the developer user has the user ID 1000 and Phil user has the user ID 1001. grep /bin/bash and /etc/passwd. So you can see Phil has 1000 and developer has Phil has 1001 and developer has 1000. And with the initial LFI, we get ourselves as developer user. So let's go to developer user, su developer, and now again I'm going to paste this password, copy, because before we try to do SSH with this password, but it needs the private key for the user. With password only you cannot do SSH, but now we are already within the target, so we can switch our user from Phil to developer. Hit enter, and now as you can see, we are developer user. Who am I? We are developer. ID is developer. Fine. Clear this, and let's do sudo space -l, and here you can see no password means the developer user can execute this .NET command as root with no password. .NET, let's go here, we don't need that. Let's see, gtfo bins .NET. Let's see if we have something here or not. .NET as sudo. So this is the sudo one. Okay, so we need to execute first of all this, copy, paste that, hit enter, and then we need to execute this, copy and paste that. So it is going to switch us bin sh with the root privileges. Now as you can see, this got changed, and if we say who am I, we are root user. Okay, so clear that, and let's say cd/root pwd present working directory /root, list the files and directories. Root.txt is here, and let's read the root.txt, cat root.txt. Okay, so here we are. This is the root flag. So that's it for this video. We compromise the whole machine with the highest privileged user as root. So that's it. If you like the content, please like, subscribe and share. And I'm going to share all the links which I used here for DNS Spy, for example, and GTFO bins, everything. If you have any query, you can put your query in the comment section. See you in the next video. Bye.